Okay, so let's get right into it. We're not just talking about a basketball player today. No, we are going to deconstruct a mindset, a ruthless, all-in mentality that didn't just win games, it completely changed sports forever. We're breaking down the anatomy of what it means to have an unbreakable will to win. And this quote right here, this is pretty much the core of our entire explainer. It's about a drive that's so intense, it goes past hard work and becomes a genuine obsession. The kind that doesn't just put you in the history books, it makes your name itself mean winning. That's the leap from great to immortal. Yeah, before all the championships, before the iconic sneakers, before the entire world knew his name and called him the greatest of all time, there was just a kid. And that's the part of the story that gets you, right? The story of the ultimate winner actually begins with a huge moment of failure. A moment that could have just ended his career before it even started. But instead, it became the spark for absolutely everything that came next. So let's rewind. Let's go back to that one single moment. How does a setback like that light the fuse for a career that becomes a legend? The real story? It starts right here. This timeline, it lays it all out. It's so simple, but man, is it powerful. So in 1978, Michael Jordan tries out for the varsity team, and he doesn't make it. He goes home and he cries. But the real turning point, the most important part, is what happens the very next morning. He makes a decision. He decides that failure was just going to be a memory, not his identity. And right here, this is what separates him from almost everyone else. See, most people, when they get rejected, they quit, or they complain, or they blame somebody else. But Jordan's response, it was the total opposite. He didn't just work harder, he literally weaponized that rejection. It became his fuel. And that idea brings us to the central principle of his whole career. He didn't just get over failure. He actually harnessed its power, turning every single setback into a launch pad. This quote from the man himself, it really gets to the heart of it. He understood that failing is just part of the game. The only real crime, the one thing that was totally unacceptable in his world, was not giving it everything you had. The results didn't matter as much as the effort. So where did all this come from? It wasn't a coach screaming at him. It wasn't about the fans. It was all internal. His real coach was that voice inside his own head. When everybody else was done for the day, he was just getting started. And all that doubt from the outside, oh, he loved that. He just smiled because it told him he was pushing harder than anyone was willing to. Okay, so let's jump forward to the NBA because this is where that mentality was really put to the test. His talent was off the charts, but he ran straight into a brick wall, an enemy that forced him to make a choice, evolve, or just be another great player who never wins the big one. And that brick wall was the bad boy Detroit Pistons. Now, they didn't just beat the Bulls, they came up with a whole strategy called the Jordan Rules, which was basically designed to physically punish him every time he got the ball. It was their way of saying, your talent alone is not enough to get past us. This was a whole new level of failure. So what was his response? He didn't complain, he didn't blame his teammates, he just went back to work. He hit the weight room, packed on 15 pounds of muscle so he could take the hits. But it wasn't just physical. He changed his game. He started trusting his teammates more, becoming a real leader, not just a one-man show. He looked at his weaknesses and just systematically destroyed them. So what's the payoff for all of that? For all the pain, the obsession, the transformation? Well, it led to this number, 6 trips to the absolute peak of his sport, the NBA Finals. And it led to this one, 6 appearances and 6 championships. He never, ever lost in the finals. That isn't just winning, that is pure dominance. A perfect record that was born from an obsession with overcoming imperfection. Okay, so we've seen the story play out. Now let's pull back the curtain and really break down the code itself. What exactly is the GOAT mentality? Here it is, boiled down. It's basically a state of mind where you are always competing. There's no off switch. Practice is the game. The game is practice. And every single setback, every critic, every doubt, it's not an obstacle, it's fuel. You take it personally and you use it. And this is so important to understand. His real opponent wasn't the guy in the other jersey. The real fight was inside. He was always trying to be better than the guy he was yesterday, to push past what he thought his limits were, and to run away from the one thing he was terrified of, just being ordinary. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It captures that whole no-off switch mentality perfectly. For him, the intensity was exactly the same if he was in an empty gym or a stadium with 20,000 people screaming. The standard never changed because the competition was always against himself. And this is the legacy, right? It's a code for greatness that's all about the choices you make. It's about choosing discipline when you don't feel motivated. It's about choosing consistency when all you want is comfort. And it's about choosing a level of focus, an obsession, when everyone else is okay with just being average.
And that all leads us to the final and honestly, the most important takeaway here. Because this whole thing, it was never really just about basketball. It's about a universal truth for achieving anything you want. This is it. This is the whole lesson. The biggest takeaway from Michael Jordan's journey is that greatness is not something you're born with. It's not about luck. It's not even just about talent. It is a conscious, deliberate, and often painful decision that you have to remake every single day. So that leaves us with one last thing to think about. When you look at this framework, this idea of turning failure into fuel, of choosing discipline over comfort, the question really isn't about Michael Jordan anymore. It's about you. So, what will your decision be?
If you like this video, subscribe for more videos like this.